My newest adventure for Pocket Fantasy RPG is Deathlike Silence, and I'm going to tell you about it right here. Be a short video. Going to let you know that this is probably only going to be for Pocket Masters only, so if you're a player, I wouldn't watch it. But this would help you, decide whether or not you think that this is something that you'd like to pick up to use for Pocket Fantasy or really any other game. As you know, obviously the rules for Pocket Fantasy are very basic, and you could switch this over to any system. But there's the cover there, Deathlike Silence. It is I did take the name from Mayhem, the band Mayhem. I think it's just a cool name, so there you go. And this is going to be pretty much inspired a little bit by Barrow Maze, and it's going to be a barrow hunt in essence, where you go barrow to barrow looking for undead to kill and loot to get. But on top of that, there's a bit of a story here. Something's going on in these the Dempsfield area. There's large moors, and the town is known for mince pies, hunting, and peat harvesting. But of course, something has happened to the land. Somebody's running amok. Strangers have been seen on the moors, and people have gone missing. So again, this is Pocket Fantasy RPG, so almost very generic style of story, since the scope of Pocket Fantasy is really just for a one night's adventure. That of course a lot of people want more of, and I understand. But one thing that's neat about this is that I created 6 barrows for it, and you can jump from barrow to barrow. You can choose which ones you want to go to. You could take these barrows out and add them to your own games. Maybe you're traveling in between areas, and the players just, their characters just come across a barrow somewhere. It could be a completely different type of land, but you could just kind of throw it in there as well. And so you get 6 different barrows, and if you could run those all together, in between them, you could have encounters. You could pull out any of the monsters that you have from Pocket Fantasy. And of course, I say, keeping the motif kind of going, because this is going to be, an area of thick fog at night, obscured vision, dread, perfect opportunity for stuff to jump out of the fog and the darkness to try to kill you. And you're going to, go from barrow to barrow, hopefully smashing undead. Lots of undead. Going to be very powerful for a cleric character. And for them they're gonna wreck a lot of stuff. But there's going to be some mundane immunity. That's something that is maybe a little bit new, and that's going to be some of the stronger undead have that. But we'll start off here very small. Obviously, the first barrow is very small. It just has really an entrance and a main crypt, and giant rats have kind of gone in and ransacked the place. So just kind of change it up a little bit of investigative work about what happened to this barrow, and then the door has been exploded outward. So the undead have been freed all throughout the moors and these barrows, the barrowlands. So the next barrows, it gets a little bit bigger. There's a little bit more stuff to interact with, and of course that's when the undead start pouring through. And then each one, of course, is going to have undead. The third one is, again, it gets a little bit bigger. It has a little bit of a puzzle to it. There's some traps here and there, and then some nasty battles with 2 ghouls. Kind of a couple, like a husband and a wife type ghoul situation. And all these, I've tried to add in a good bit of treasure. And since there is mundane immunity, undead later on, you're going to need to give, your players the chance. And I talk about that, hey, give your players the chance to have magical items so they can affect these strong, powerful undead. So I do think this could be a deadly adventure if you run all 6 of them, but hopefully with their skills and their magical items that they're going to get, they'll be able to tackle them all. The third one, again, it gets bigger. This one has got a lot of undead in it. Skeletons, zombies, ghouls, and then it's got a nice special room in the lower crypt that I'll leave it to you to figure out, but it's always a fun monster to try to fight. It's got a nice aesthetic about the room that it's in, and sometimes normal Western European fantasy type games don't really have this type of monster, and you have to kind of set this monster into its own setting, own land. And so now I've kind of brought that. Maybe this is a traveler, maybe someone traveled here and they got buried a certain way, if you know what I mean. And so it's going to kind of change a little bit. So I really like this barrow a lot. The next one has got a really cool, of course, from above view, the maps. And of course, these are Dyson logos. He does a great job, and these really help me out a bunch. Really neat barrow here. It's going to have the strong undead. It's going to have some whites, and of course, they can be very nasty. But it could be possibly new for players of Pocket Fantasy to face. A lot of good loot, zombies, everything that you'd want. Secret passageways and stuff like that, and a cool pool of souls. In essence, they're going to let the heroes have a little bit of be heroic and kind of save the day for the unfortunate souls that dwell in this place. And then the last barrow, the Fear Grief barrow. This is where the story comes to an end a little bit. You have some cultists that have, in essence, found a spell that allows a very powerful wizard. She has been reborn as a lich, and that will be the final battle. And the lich, of course, is found in the cards that you'll find if you download Pocket Fantasy. It's kind of a special thing just for looking through the cards, try to get people to take a look at them. And the lich is going to be very powerful, but this barrow here is one of the largest in the moors, and it's going to have a mixture of undead and the cultists and the lich, saving the day, hopefully releasing the captives that are in the holding room, and getting a lot of loot in the process. So there she is there in her lich form. Great piece of art there by William McAuslan. And 6 captives to save. So that's going to be really great. And then I've put all of the 6 barrows on a little map sheet in the back. That way maybe you could use those for players. And hopefully those have been helpful, the ones that I've done before. So yeah, Deathlike Silence, it's on ttrpg, just like the other 2 adventures that I've created, The Lost Vault of Urstov and Blackwater Swirling. All these adventures are going to be $2, and so this adventure is $2, and they're all 15 pages. And I hope that in the future, once I get about 5 or 6 of them, I'll be able to put them all together in kind of a compendium, maybe 6 adventures or so all together that you could buy print on demand on Deathlike. So that's going to be pretty cool. I hope to be able to do that. And I do appreciate everybody, all the new subscribers to my channel. I see you guys, and I am very appreciative of it. And I hope that you'll comment. If you pick up something, please leave a review. I haven't gotten any reviews for these adventures, so I'd like to know what people think. Even if you haven't played them, at least if you've read them, please leave a review. It helps me out greatly, just to know that you're out there. Of course, you can see from the DriveThruRPG page, I love commenting and talking to anybody that's willing to leave a comment on the website. Down below, I will comment. I take a lot of ownership of this game, and I want everybody to enjoy themselves. It's supposed to be a fun game for a night of adventure, of hack and slash. And yeah, it's always great for someone to reach out and talk to me, and I love to comment back and to have that communication going back and forth. If there's something you like, if there's something you don't like, if you're enjoying these adventures, I'd love to know about it. Please, please leave a written review and just connect out with me. That way I know that people are enjoying what I'm making. And I do appreciate the money that you've spent if you have bought my adventures, and it really, really means a lot to me. So there it is, Deathlike Silence. That's the release for June, and I'll have another one up for July. It'll have a completely different motif, and it will probably, at some point, a lot of these have been kind of dungeon crawls, very kind of basic, and I will branch out and do some more that will have real story, NPC interaction, roleplay, actual like roleplay interactions, and more mystery and stuff like that, more investigative type adventures for Pocket Fantasy RPG. Because while it can, I believe, do great hack and slash dungeon crawls, it can also do anything else a normal role-playing game can do, even though it's in such a small package. So there it is, Deathlike Silence. The link will be down below, and that'll link to the DriveThruRPG, and then from there you'll be able to see, if you want to check out the other adventures, check out my other videos that I've done for Pocket Fantasy, and I've got some new videos coming up too for other products that are out there. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good one.